What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're talking about the best 2-liter engines ever made. Now you can't have any 2-liter engine list without mentioning the 4G63T that Mitsubishi produced. The 4G63T is an engine that I talked about on my most iconic engines ever video, which I will link in the top of the video in the description. But the fact that this engine made it on that list can already tell you something. It's a great engine that was produced for almost 20 years, which means two things. Now, Mitsubishi was really competitive in rally, and they had to keep improving on the 4G63T to stay competitive, which means you as the consumer got newer and better technology for the engine over the years. And the second thing, the aftermarket scene is massive with over 20 years of parts. So whether you want to stay stock or modify the 4G63T, it's one of the best engines out there. The 4G63T produced 286 brake horsepower in the Evo 10, and that was unfortunately the end of this great engine. F20 or F22C Honda motor. The F20C held the record for being the most powerful naturally aspirated engine per liter. Quite a CV, right? You can find the F20C in the Honda S2000 with a 9000 RPM redline. You know she got VTEC, bro. The factory parts are super durable and hard to improve on, and with a huge aftermarket scene, you can truly make this car your own. The S2000 had 240 brake horsepower naturally aspirated, but fear not, if you want more power, there are many turbo kits designed for this car. Number 3, the EA888. Well, firstly, I don't know how to pronounce this one, and I would rather not sound like a complete idiot, so I'll just call it the engine in the Golf R, or the Golf R's engine. But you can find it in the Golf R, obviously, and an Audi S3. With the stock power output of 300 brake horsepower, which is already a lot, this engine is no slouch. But the reason I put this engine on this list is simple. What does the S3 and the Golf R have in common? Yes, 4-wheel drive. And with the Revo bolt-on kit, 500 horsepower and a sub 11 second quarter mile is more than possible. And because of the amazing gearbox and 4-wheel drive, you can do sub 11s over and over and over. This engine makes it easy to embarrass supercar owners. Number 4, the SR20 DET. And yet another engine that was featured on my most iconic engines of all time. The SR20 is a cheap engine that you will see in all types of racing. I've seen them in small Datsuns on the drag strip and in countless drift cars. Because the aftermarket scene is so large and the parts are so cheap, this engine is an awesome choice for a project car. In its stock form, it produces a respectable 246 brake horsepower, but you can take it to 400 wheel horsepower, and because of how lightweight it is, you can have a lot of fun. Plus, that sound. Number 5, the Alfa Busso V6. Now this isn't your typical engine. It's a 2-liter V6 turbo. It made around 200 horsepower back in the 90s. And yes, it ain't crazy numbers, but the look and sound of these engines are awesome and something different. Sure, they don't have the best reputation for reliability, but damn, the engine bay looks clean. This engine was widely praised for being the best sounding V6 on the road. The Alfa V6 had an all-aluminum block which was bulletproof. Number 6, the M139. So this is currently the most powerful 2-liter engine that you can find in a stock car. Okay, they are properly expensive, but they got 416 brake horsepower out of a 2-liter. How the crap? Family friendly Chris here. My 3-liter twin turbo BMW only makes 380 brake horsepower. And I don't know what fairy dust Mercedes throws in their cars, but it works. The engine is powered by a twin-scroll turbocharger which eliminates most of the turbo lag and makes the car feel more like a naturally aspirated engine. 0 to 60 is 4 seconds, and the top speed is 170 miles per hour, which is crazy. That is supercar numbers out of a hatchback. Number 7, the Volvo T8 2-liter. This is Volvo's answer to the powerful 2-liter engine, and they took a slightly different route than most of the manufacturers do. It's a 2-liter, obviously, but it's a turbo and supercharged engine that made 350 brake horsepower. Quite impressive, right? While Polestar added 2 electric motors on top of that. So the Volvo T8 engine produces 415 brake horsepower and a torque figure of 670 Newton meters. And a good chunk of that torque is instant because of the electric engines. Unfortunately, because of a bad gearbox design, the car does tend to feel a bit laggy, but as soon as the power kicks in, you know she's fast. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more car and bike content. I'll check you in the next one. Cheers, hey.